I'm the Entertainah.
And I'm Simeon Russell. And we're talking New York
sports.
Let's go.
So what's poppin', Sim?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. How are you?
I'm good, man. I've been waiting to do this show for a long time. You know, I've been talking to you for a couple of months. It's been getting a little delayed.
Yeah, man. I've been busy. You know, I've been...
The AAUs, everything.
Traveling all over the place. And I am so glad that it's over. You don't know. I'm just so glad that it's over.
I mean, I don't know how you do it. You're bringing. I think you told me you had like 14 games in like 10 days, something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you got your show to 5. It seems like 10 nights a week. You got your show. You're a busy man.
Tell me about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how my wife lives with me. To tell you the truth.
I don't know how you have a wife.
But hey, I'm glad that we're able to do this show. I think all of the New York fans, you're gonna love this show. But let me tell you a story. Now, about the first time that I ever seen the Entertainah, I was just cruising around, just looking at Knicks stuff, and I click on his video, and this Rocky dude comes across my screen, and I'm like, Adrian, and I'm like, what is going on? But I loved everything that you were doing.
That's funny that you say. That's actually a true story. Funny that you say that. When I was growing up as a kid, everybody used to call me Rocky. They said I looked like him. I sounded like him when I was a kid.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a big Rocky fan. I've watched every single Rocky movie.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7 times. Anytime that it's on television,
I'll tell you one thing about it. That's the only thing I like about Philadelphia. I can't stand anything else about that city, but the Rocky's probably my favorite series.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad that we met. We've had a chance to have a few conversations.
Yeah, man.
Found out we like the same sports teams.
That's a weird combination, right? With the Mets and the Giants. Usually it goes Yankees, Giants, or Mets, Jets.
Exactly. But I really started watching sports in '86.
That was a good year. That was a good year for sports. You had the Giants and the Mets won that year.
The Mets, exactly. And that's how I became a Giants and a Mets fan, because that's when I really started paying attention to sports. So there we go. There we go. I guess it's time to talk about some sports. They don't want to hear us jibber jabber all night long, so we might as well talk about some sports.
Let's get going. Tim, last night I just got done. I was watching the Hall of Fame game on the tube. And, I got all jacked up because football season's around the corner. That's usually the signal that football season's about to start. But, how are you feeling about this?
I'm super, super duper excited because last year had me so depressed, so hurt.
Let me tell you, last year, everybody always comments on my beers when I'm in my videos. You should have seen me live when I was watching these Giant games. I was going through a whole 12-pack. I was going through kegs. That's how depressed this team was making me last year.
Man, I was so hurt and so depressed. I never fall asleep to football games. Well, that's a lie. I do. I take naps. But I don't.
There's too many commercials.
Tell me about it. But I don't fall asleep through the whole game. I was falling asleep through entire Giant games. I watched them because I'm a diehard fan, but it hurt me. I expected the Giants to make the playoffs, possibly contend for a Super Bowl. And
they were coming off that 11-5 year. They lost to the Packers in the first round, and everybody had the hype train going. Everybody saying McAdoo is this great coach. Everything's going to be going in the right direction. And then they get Marshall, right? And you think they're going to be doing some big things, and everything just fell apart.
And I was a little bit nervous at the beginning of the year. I know we got Marshall. I was happy to get Marshall. I felt like it was going to be a nice yin and yang type of thing with him and Beckham. Yeah. But I was still afraid that we didn't do anything to beef up the offensive line.
That's my one knock on Reese. And it's not like Reese didn't try. He did draft a few old linemen. He drafted Flowers, who sucks. He drafted a couple. He drafted Pugh. He drafted Richburg. But his offensive line, he hasn't been able to build an offensive line. That's why he doesn't have a job. They haven't had a sound offensive line in like 8, 9, 10 years.
Exactly. And at the age that Eli is now, we got to keep him standing up.
Yeah, he's not the type of quarterback that could scramble either. He's a pocket passer. Exactly. He's not going to be able to get out of it. You got to be able to block for Eli.
Exactly. And Eli is going down before he gets hit. So, you got to have a line because Eli is going to drop. He's not taking any chances with his body. I don't blame him.
You know what though? You can't. That's why he's the Iron Man. The guy's never missed the start. Knock on wood.
Exactly. Until last year.
Speaking of missing starts, though, let's just do a little brief. Talk about what happened Week 13 last year when McAdoo shit, I like to call him, benched Eli for Geno Smith.
That was terrible. Geno Smith. I mean, that's really all we have to say. Geno Smith.
Geno Smith's a lifetime backup. I'm getting depressed talking about this. And then the Eagles win the Super. Last year, I couldn't even look at a football, let alone a game. I couldn't actually look at a football for like 3 months after the football season. I was so depressed with the Giants and the Eagles and everything else. But let's talk about the silver lining. Let's talk about what happened because they only won 3 games.
Let's talk about it. Saquon Barkley. There it is. Saquon Barkley, man. What do you expect?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What do you expect from the kid? I know he's a beast. He's a beast. At least in college, he was a beast.
This guy, I mean, I've seen the highlights. I've seen his train. This guy, I was watching a training video the other day. The guy's pushing like 1,000-pound weights up a hill. Guy's an animal. He's got the arms of a wide receiver. He ran like a 4.40 or whatever it was in the combine. He's ridiculous. This guy's going to be an animal.
Yeah. What do you think he needs to do? He was drafted second overall. Right.
Yeah.
And so we know, you and I, we were talking a little bit earlier about running backs today in the NFL. You know what? They are what? They come a dime a dozen. That's what they say. They come a dime a dozen. So you don't want to draft them high. Does he have to do anything special to live up to that second overall draft pick?
That's a great question. I was actually having this conversation with my friend. To me, the bare minimum, he's got to match Tiki Barber to justify being the number 2 overall pick. Because, like you said, running backs traditionally, they don't go top 5, top 10. There's a handful. I think Leonard Fournette went 4th or 5th overall last year. But for the most part, I think Ezekiel Elliott as well a couple of years ago. But for the most part, running backs, they don't usually go as high as Barkley. So for him to justify that pick, because a lot of Giants fans, it was like 50-50 last year. Half the Giants fans want him to take the quarterback. Half the Giants fans want him to take Barkley. So, those that wanted the quarterback, they are going to be all over Barkley. He has to live up to he's got to live up to that number 2 pick. It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. What was Tiki Barber drafted?
He was early second-round pick out of Virginia in '96.
Okay. And that's kind of a high pick still for football. Still kind of a high pick.
Yeah, for a running back. Yeah,
for a running back.
Yeah. If Tiki Barber went through his struggles, if you remember. He had the fumbling problems until Coughlin came along.
Yep, till Coughlin came along. I'm expecting a lot from Saquon Barkley.
I personally, and I'm a very positive guy when it comes to my sports teams. I think the Knicks got a shot to make the playoffs this year. Most Knicks fans would call me crazy for that. But I think Barkley's going to completely revolutionize this offense. I really do.
And not only, I got you. Completely revolutionize the offense. I think you're going to see a totally different offensive line, right? Of course, we brought in some free agents, but when you have a running back that can slip through the cracks, when you have a running back that can find the hole and hit the hole, that makes your offensive line look a lot better.
Yeah, well, you've been watching Giant games like me. I mean, I could count probably on my 2 hands the amount of effective play action passes this team's been able to run over the last 5 or 6 years because the defense knows what's coming. Exactly. They know the Giants can't run the football. Now that they got Saquon Barkley in the backfield, it's not going to just help the running game. It's going to help the passing game as well because they're much more unpredictable. And it's also going to help the offensive line because defense ain't going to be able to just pin their ears back and say, we know they're passing, we're going to send a rush. Now they got to protect against Barkley potentially taking it to the house.
Exactly. So they may need to keep another defensive lineman in the box, which is going to open things up on the outside for Odell, and that could be scary.
I'm not a big video game player, but I can't wait till Madden comes out to play with these puppies, with Beckham and Barkley. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine how good this offense could potentially be if this team blocks.
Right. And what's Eli going to do, though? Is Eli, he's got weapons. Right? All over the field, he's got weapons.
Sim, we've talked off camera. You know, I love Eli Manning. He is my favorite athlete of all time. I love everything about the guy, what he does on the field. He always shuts the critics up. This, that, the other thing. But you know what? This year, if he can't produce with what they've given him, it's time to move on to Webb because there's no excuses this year. He's got every tool in the tool bag this year.
That's tough for me because I like Eli. He brought us 2 Super Bowls. He's always cool. You know, people laugh about his dopey face, but to me, that's a cool face. Cool, calm, and collected. He's not worried. And I like Eli. I really do. You know, I'm a support Eli 100%, but he's got to come out and perform. He's got to do it. He's got to do it.
He's got to produce this year, and I think he will. I don't know if you remember the second Super Bowl run they went on that year. Before the season started, he came on the radio and he said that he was this elite quarterback, and everyone mocked him for it. And then he went out there and he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Eli, I feel like he's the type of guy when he has expectations and pressure, if you give him the pieces he needs, he's going to deliver. I think Eli's going to be in for a big year this year.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to it. But Entertainah, I just want to ask you, a little bit back, you said you were talking to your friend. I'm not your friend.
Oh, you're my friend. Let me tell you something. I'm not just saying this because we're on a show together. Yeah, I talk to you on the phone, and it's like 3 hours goes by. It's like I could talk to you for hours. I think we got a good chemistry. I'm really looking forward to this show.
Right.
I think we're gonna have a lot of good things on the show.
Just checking, man. Just checking and making sure. Okay, look, man. We're both Giants fans. I'm a diehard Giants fan. I will admit, I did have a Jets jersey once because it was really nice and it matched a pair of sneakers. But what do you think about the little brothers, man? The little brothers.
Do we gotta talk about them, Sim? Do we got to?
I guess so. I guess so.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I actually like the Jets. I don't root against the Jets. They're, like you said, they're my second team. I'm a Giant fan first.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to give the Jets a lot of credit last year because everybody pissed on them. Everybody said they're going to win 1 or 2 games. Todd Bowles, everybody thought was a lame duck coach. And they went out there and they fought for him. They won 5 games, and they win most of the games they played. So I give the Jets a lot of credit. And the other thing I'm going to say is I think they finished with like the 6th overall pick, and then they showed the balls. They gave up 3 second-round picks to secure the ability to get a quarterback. They moved up to the number 3 spot. Yeah. And I thought that showed a lot of balls.
Yeah. You know, and I'm the same way. I don't hate them. I support them. You know what I mean? Except for when they play the Giants. Even in preseason, when they play the Giants, I want the Giants to kick their asses. But I support them anyway. You know what I mean?
Week 3 preseason.
Yeah. And hey, listen, Jets fans, listen, we play in the same building. You guys got to cover up a lot of trophies. When you know, I just got to say it. So, you know, Jets fans.
That was disgraceful. The last time they played the Giants, they made a big thing about that, how they covered up all the Giants Super Bowl trophies. You know, that's kind of disrespectful. And it shows a little, you know, it shows a little more class than that.
Exactly. I mean, give your big brother some respect. Jets fans, you can leave it in the comments if you don't like it. It's cool. I understand.
No, but all kidding aside, I think the Jets got to be very happy with who they ended up with the 3rd overall pick because most mocks had Darnold going number 1. And I actually love Baker Mayfield. I was very high on him. But when the Browns took him number 1, that shook up the whole draft.
Yeah,
it enabled Darnold to fall to the Jets. And I know Jet fans were thrilled when we took Barkley because they got their man.
Right, and you know what? It's exciting to have, you know, Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, you know, for the New York, just for the New York sports scene, to have some young rookies that are coming in that can hopefully be the guys that's going to take the mantle forward. You know what I mean? And you know, have some really good New York football for years to come. So I'm excited. I'm excited for both of them. Tell you the truth, I really am.
You think Darnold will? You think he'll start week 1, or you think they'll start Bridgewater, or you think they'll go with Darnold?
If it were me, I'd go with Darnold.
Let him go, right? Because you got no expectations this year anyway. Yeah.
Right. I let him go. Just the same way I feel about Kevin Knox with the Knicks. The same way I felt about Frank Ntilikina with the Knicks last year. We'll talk about the Knicks in a little bit. Let him go. Let him get out there. Let him play. You know what I mean?
Sink or swim. Sink or swim. You got to throw him in the pool if you can swim. If you can, that's the only way you're going to learn. It's like any job, right? You have to fail before you succeed.
Right. I mean, are the Giants going to not start Saquon Barkley?
It's a little, but in fairness, it's a little different.
The
quarterback positions are, much more in depth than the running back position. But I get what you're saying.
Right. But so I expect for Darnold to start.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does well. I think the Jets. I actually think the Jets could do better than people think this year. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but I think they can win 7, 8, 9 games. I think they have. I think they got more talent than people realize because they added a lot of nice pieces in free agency as well. They added Terrell Pryor. They added Isaiah Crowell, the running back from the Browns. So they had a couple of nice pieces.
Yeah, I had Crowell on my fantasy league last year.
I love fantasy football.
Yeah. I'm a huge. I got a league that I play in every year. Not last year, the year before, I won the Super Bowl. I won it all. Yeah? But last year I was like 500. Last season.
What do you play? You play the PPR. You play the what do you play?
I don't even know exactly what it is. All I know is I go in and I choose my players every week. I play that waiver wire every week and try to make something happen. You know what I mean? Last year, I don't know what happened last year, man. I got all
we discussed earlier. I think we're gonna do a nice as the show progresses. We're gonna do a fantasy football segment on the show every week, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do a fantasy football segment, and hopefully we're gonna do. We'll do a fantasy football league. Hopefully, everybody will join in. Not everybody. You can't fit
really
everybody in
there,
but that's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun. Really fun. But
not many players on the Jets are gonna be drafting.
Right. I tell you what though, I was kind of pissed off though because the Jets were actually better than the Giants last year.
Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? If you would have told me that, who would have thought that?
Right. Exactly. And I don't even want to talk about it. It's a new year. It's a new year.
Last year's done with. It's done with.
It's gone. It's over. It's a new year. It's a new year. So let's talk about some Knicks.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
So what do you think about our rookies? What do you think about the Knicks rookies? Rookies. Yeah, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson.
They got a lot of rookies, right? You got the Knox, you got the Mitchell Robinson, you got Trier. I'm excited about this year. I don't have high expectations, and we're not winning a championship. I think that, Sim.
Right.
But I think if everything breaks right, I think they can contend for an 8 seed. I'm not going to necessarily say they can get an 8 seed, but this year's not about the playoffs. It's about development, and it's trying to get the most out of Entertainah, Knox, Robinson. You see what you got going forward.
Right. Listen, I'm so impressed with Kevin Knox. Very impressed with Kevin, and I know I caught some heat. I listen to your show, Sim. I know you're impressed with Kevin Knox. And I caught some heat. I'm not even going to get into it because I don't want to start. I'm not going to get into it, but I caught some heat. But I really like Kevin Knox. I just the things that I've seen him be able to do on the floor from summer league, I think is going to translate to the NBA court. So I'm really impressed with the kid. Mitchell Robinson. I'm impressed with Mitchell Robinson, but and I love what I've seen from him so far. I feel like he's gonna have to bulk up in order to handle, playing that center position in the NBA. That's just it's a different animal than playing in college, different breed. Those guys are big. Those guys are huge. If you ever seen someone like Shaq in person,
well, yeah,
my goodness,
he get pushed, he get thrown to the side by Shaq.
Man, in college, I played with this guy. His name was Garth Joseph. He actually played for the Celtics for a couple of games maybe. And he plays overseas now. I don't know if he's still playing overseas. He was 7'1". This dude was huge. One of the biggest people I ever seen in my life. Huge.
That's what Robinson's 7'1" too, right?
Yeah, Robinson is like 7'1". But he's, really thin and he's not filled out, So, those guys are banging down there. It's going to take a little bit of time, I think, for, Robinson to get used to the speed and the strength of the NBA, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
To go back what you said about Knox, I don't mean to get on you. I actually like Knox a lot myself. I just, the whole Porzingis thing, I think you push it. But Knox, I like a lot. I think he could play 3 different positions. He could play the 2, the 3, the 4. And what I was most impressed with Knox in the summer league is his dribbling ability. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be a legitimate shooting guard. I mean, I think his natural position is probably the 3 at the NBA level. But it's nice to have the ability to put him at the 2 in certain lineups.
Yeah.
And as far as Robinson goes, I agree with you. And it's not even just his weight, which I agree needs to put on 15, 20, 25 pounds of muscle. But it's also the endurance factor, right? Because he sat out for an entire year. So he's got to get his wind, right? He's got to – I'd say I'd probably start him in the G League for 10, 15, 20 games.
Okay. Yeah. But you know what? I don't think I'm pushing it. I know the fans are gonna people in the comments, they're gonna pounce on me. I don't think I'm pushing it. And
what do you expect? What do you expect from Knox this year? I'm not,
this year.
You think he can win Rookie of the Year? Tell me what your expectations are.
I think he's definitely going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. I'm not going to say he's going to win it, but I think he'll be in the running for Rookie of the Year. It's set up for him. KP's not here. Right, he's not coming back until January or somewhere around there, something like that. You got Tim Hardaway Jr., but then who else is going to score? Right?
I think there's a couple of guys on this team who could score, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I'd be shocked if Knox doesn't average at least 14, 15 points.
Yeah, easy. I think he might average 14, 15 points. He could be near 17, 18, and 6 rebounds, 5-6 rebounds a game, maybe 2 or 3 assists a game.
That's what I'd put him at. I'd probably put him at 17-6, 17-7. That's my expectation for him this year.
And but my thing with him is I don't see anything on the floor that he cannot do. It doesn't mean that he's going to be a master in everything, but I don't see anything that he can't do, and I think that's really impressive because there's not a lot of guys in the league that can say that they can do everything on the floor. I think that he can do everything on the floor. We'll see how he develops.
He's like a Swiss Army knife. He do a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
He's like Antetokounmpo. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's that good because I think Antetokounmpo is the future of the league. But he's in that mold, right? Where Antetokounmpo could shoot, he could pass, he could dribble, he could block, he does everything.
He does everything.
That's what you're looking for nowadays.
Yeah, and another guy that I think eventually will be able to do everything is Frenchie. The first video that I've seen you in. I think I think that he's not going to be a 20-point scorer.
No,
right?
That's not his game, though.
It's not his game. I think that he's going to be able to score, though. I think eventually he'll be a guy that can give you 10 to 15 points a game. I think he's definitely going to be able to give you 8 to 9 assists a game.
You think that much?
I really do think that he can do that, especially when you got guys. KP's field goal percentage is going to go up as he gets better. Kevin Knox, his field goal percentage is going to go up as he gets better. Hopefully, Tim Hardaway will get it together and his field goal percentage will go up.
You're not a Hardaway fan. I've gathered that.
Not at all. Not at all.
I personally would rather see Hezonja play over Hardaway. I'm not a big Hardaway guy myself.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Hezonja, but I'm hoping that he's better than Hardaway. I am. But I think that Frank would be. I think someone's got to get those guys the ball. And
that's a good point. I don't expect it this year. I don't expect 8 assists this year. But that's a good point because they're gonna have a lot of weapons on this team once Knox matures and Porzingis matures. And 8 assists is probably not that far fetched. Yeah. He's just got to adjust. I think I know you say that Frank's got to be Frank. We've talked about this before. But he's got to find his style, right? And some point guards, it takes a long time. It took Peyton a long time. It took Billups a long time. He's got an advantage with his height, right, and his length. So he's got to use that more.
Yeah, but the Knicks. I think the Knicks' future, if this, looking at this nucleus, Frank, KP, Knox, Mitchell Robinson, if that's going to be our nucleus. You notice I didn't put Tim Hardaway Jr. in there. Right, but if that's going to be our nucleus, Frank's going to he's got to be the one that is the distributor, obviously, looking at that group.
I hope you're right, but what if they bring in Kyrie?
Right, but you know what, if they bring in Kyrie, then Frank can play the shooting. He can play off. He can play the off guard spot. He can still. It can still be
for sure. But then he's not going to be a point guard.
Then he's not going to be a point guard, right? But you can still have the same dynamic like Utah has with Donovan Mitchell and Ricky Rubio, right? Donovan Mitchell, he's more the size of a point guard, but he's really your shooting guard. Where Ricky Rubio is like 6'4", 6'5". He's maybe more your shooting guard size, but he's really your distributor on the floor. I think you can have that same kind of dynamic.
Well, you also see that in Houston, right? They play Harden plays a lot like a point guard and Chris Paul at the same time.
Yeah.
So you do see that a lot now in the NBA. You do see a lot of lineups where you got two guys who are kind of like a point guard on the floor at the same time.
Yep. And so, listen, having a point guard like Frank that can play defense, everything else can come. I know a lot of people are on Frank because he doesn't score. He doesn't penetrate yet.
He's got to show more confidence.
I think he'll get there. I would not mind it at all if Kyrie came and he was at the 1, kicked Tim Hardaway out of here. Frank is at the 2. Kevin Knox is at the 3. KP is at the 4. Mitchell Robinson is at the 5. Moving forward, at some point in the future, I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd still be concerned about Kyrie's knees. But listen, if we don't get Kyrie, we don't get Jimmy Butler, we don't get Kevin Durant, I'm good. Because I'd like to see these young guys. You got to be patient.
You can't do what we did when we missed out on LeBron and we brought in Amari.
Right.
You have to bring in the right guy. I think they're going to need a guy to get them over the top in this day and age in the NBA when the superstars pair up.
I agree.
They're going to need one guy to get them over the top, but it's got to be the right guy.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. But if we didn't get one right now, I'd be happy with just waiting with these guys.
Next year. It doesn't got to be next year.
Exactly. Letting these guys play, learn, grow, develop, and then see what happens there. I'd be no problems with that at all because I'm excited. It's been a long time since we've had a young group of kids that we can build with, grow with, and develop, and New York can fall in love with. That's what's happening right now.
Let me tell you, Sim, I was born in 85, and I've never had this. I've never had a young group of kids that come up because the Knicks have always traded away their draft picks. They never have a first-round pick, and they've always tried to take the shortcuts, and they've never built from the ground up. And it's really is encouraging to see them finally doing that.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It really is. It's refreshing. So expectations for the Knicks this year. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I'm always hoping that they're going to make the playoffs. I want to see the Knicks do well. I'm not a tankster wankster.
That's what I was about to ask you. What would be to me? I'm not a tank guy myself because of course, if there's the next LeBron James out in the next draft, of course you want to grab him. But at the same time, I feel like it hurts the development of the players on the team if you're tanking. Because you want to start to develop, even if they're not going to be a 45-51 team, you still want to start to develop winning tendencies and playing in big situations. Exactly. You don't want to be this team that's winning 18, 19 games.
Exactly. Because that learning how to win, even if you don't make the playoffs, but you're trying to make the playoffs. You come to work, or you come to the games, you practice. Shoot arounds, meetings before the games, meetings on off days. You come with a different mentality because you're trying to win. If you know that your team doesn't care about wins, then I might as well sleep through this film session.
Yeah, right? and that's gonna stunt the growth of the young talent on this team.
Exactly.
Not that I'm saying I'm rooting for them to. In a perfect world. Yeah, we get R.J. Barrett or whoever the top. I'm not a big college guy. I'm a St. John's fan. They've been horrible for the last since I've been born, pretty much. But
you know what? We hadn't talked about that, but I was St. John's fans too.
Yeah,
I'm a Johnny's guy. Back when they were the Redmen.
What do you think about the job Mullins going to be doing over there?
You know what? I'm hoping for the best. Chris Mullins, he's St. John's guy. I'm hoping that he can get them in shape. We'll see what happens there. I'm not sure. Your top players don't always make the best coaches, but we'll see what happens there.
With him, and they got Richmond on that coaching staff too.
Exactly.
They think they'll be able to recruit some good players there.
Right. I can remember I remember, dang, what year was this? Maybe it was 1992. I was in Albany. St. John's, they were playing, I think they were playing Manhattan, whoever. And, I went to the game. Me and a group of friends, we went to the game. After the game, we ran out to the back of, they played at the Pepsi Arena in Albany. Or I think it was the Times Union Center at the time. I don't know. But we ran to the back after the game. I got to meet Malik Sealy, the late great.
He's great. Sealy. He's all-time great.
Yeah, Louis Carnesecca.
So he had the sweater on?
He had his sweater on. Yes, he did. He had his sweater on. I can remember telling him, obviously this didn't happen, but I remember telling him, I'm going to be playing for you in about 2 years. That's what I told him. But it was great. And I had this red St. John's hat. I had all the players sign it. Louis Carnesecca sign it. And I lost it.
Oh, man.
I lost it.
It's terrible. The only great St. John's team, I was born in 85. So the only great St. John's team really that's been since I've been watching the team was the Artest team when they had Artest, Eric Barkley, LeVar Postel, Bootsy Thornton. But other than that, I mean, you have to the whole Jarvis thing, right? He did something. I don't even remember what he did, but he did something to get kicked out of the school.
Yeah, and after that whole rape thing,
that's what it was.
Yeah, that whole rape thing. It just, and they lost some luster. And listen, I understand. I understand why, but they were the Red Men for so long, and then they became the Red Storm, and
it's kind of corny.
Yeah. I mean, they could have found a better name than the Red Storm. I think I don't know, but and then now the whole Big East is all over the place. Syracuse isn't even in the Big East anymore.
Yeah, the Big East. I mean, you still got Villanova, who's the best in the country right now, but it's not the Big East it used to be.
Exactly. It's not, but. I'm
we
still
went
a St. John's
there a little
fan,
bit.
man.
I didn't realize you were a St. John's fan.
Yeah, still a St. John's fan. I'll be a St. John's fan forever. You mentioned Ron Artest. I am so glad that the Knicks didn't pull a Frederick Weiss this year.
That broke my heart. I was praying to get Artest. Artest would have been a great Knick. And the only thing that Frederick Weiss ever accomplished was he got dunked on by Vince Carter.
Right. Exactly. And listen, finally, when it was too late, the Knicks brought in Metta World Peace. He was no longer Ron Artest. He was Metta World Peace. But I was happy. I'm not going to lie. I was happy. I was glad. That was the year they brought in all the old vets with Baron Davis and Metta World Peace. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just glad that they made the right choice. They did the right thing amidst all the chants of Michael Porter Jr. and everything. I was at the draft. You at the draft? I was at the draft. Yeah, I was at the draft. I did a video about the draft.
Oh, that's right, you did. I saw that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I did a video about it, and the crowd was going crazy. Michael Porter. And I was actually I was recording. I had my son recording with my camera, and then I was actually streaming at the same time. So it was pretty cool. But I was relieved because even at that moment, I was a little like, oh, I had been saying if we don't move up to get Mo Bamba, because I had thought maybe it was a possibility. I had been saying if we don't get Mo Bamba, I want Kevin Knox. Oh,
so he was always your guy from day one.
Not from day one. I did like Bridges, but then
that's what I was about to say. Bridges was my guy. I wasn't upset with Knox, but I wanted Bridges.
Yeah, I liked Bridges, but when I started to look at Kevin Knox a little bit more, I was like, man, the things that this guy can do offensively. I was watching, highlights of him coming off screens and doing different things. So then I changed to Kevin Knox. I wouldn't have been mad if they drafted Mikal Bridges. I wouldn't have been mad. But at that moment, I was like, man, what do we do? And I felt the pressure of Scott Perry. But I was glad in the end they stuck to their guns and they took Kevin Knox. And obviously, based on, Michael Porter Jr. had another back surgery, we made the right choice. So I'm happy and I'm glad. And I like the direction of the team. I love the way we're going. I like what Scott Perry is doing. I like what Fizdale, the culture that he says he wants to instill. So I'm looking forward to watching these young guys develop. You know,
it's gonna be a fun year.
Yeah,
it really is. It's gonna be a fun year.
Yeah, especially without the expectations, we can just enjoy the team. There's gonna be some criticism naturally, but we can just enjoy the team.
I mean, this is New York, okay? You know, you're gonna have pressure no matter what. You screw up a little. You saw with Neil Keenan, half the fan base wants him off the team already.
Right, already. You know what I mean? So, yep. New York Knicks fans, New York fans as a whole. You know, we got Jets, got Darnold, Giants, Saquon Barkley, Knicks, Kevin Knox. We're looking good, New York. We're looking good. We got some things to be happy
I mean,
about.
the last couple of years in New York, sports in general has been awful, but it's starting to look up.
Yeah, it's looking up. We got some things to be happy about, and we got a future to look forward to. So I'm happy about that, man. Entertainah, what are we gonna do with this channel?
What are we gonna do with this channel?
What are we gonna do with this channel, man?
I think I'm hoping we could go live next week.
I love it. I'm
having a blast. I love this.
I love it.
I absolutely love talking sports, and there's no better guy to talk about it than with you.
Yeah, I'm with you. Same here. I feel the same exact way, man. Because I told you earlier, I'm a big Rocky fan. So, you know, I can listen to Rocky talk all day long. You know what I mean?
You remind me not looks wise, but you flow and you remind me of Walt Clyde Frazier. You got that cool demeanor about you.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Yeah, back in the day, you know, I didn't have cable all the time. I used to sit back and listen to Walt Clyde Frazier call the Knicks games, and it was that would be one of the most peaceful moments for me. It was beautiful. I could just get lost.
He was on the radio back then?
He was on the radio. Yeah, I think it was WFAN. Yep, and I would just get lost just listening to him, and I could actually picture what he was saying. It's incredible. You know, it was incredible. But I'm looking forward to making this channel grow. You know, we're doing the things we got to do to make the channel grow. We're both New York fans. Diehard fans, and we know there's crazy diehard fans throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout the country. You know, so we're here for you guys, man.
Can you imagine what this channel is gonna be like in November when you got basketball coming into the fold and you got football? We're in like week 9 and 10. Could you imagine how much stuff we're gonna have to talk about?
It's gonna be crazy. So, all New York fans, we need you to come to the channel. We need you to subscribe because this is gonna be big, and you're gonna want to be part of it. I can guarantee you that you're gonna want to be part of it. Subscribe. Let us know what you like or dislike about this video. This is the pilot. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing how it's gonna go, but we got a lot of things in store. We got a lot of plans, and as we continue to go, we're gonna get more in depth. We're gonna have fun with fantasy leagues. We got a lot of things that we're going to do.
We were talking about potentially down the road going to some live events with some of the people from the show.
Exactly. You know, doing some live events. So you're going to want to be part of it. You know what I mean? You're going to want to be part of it.
Sim, I had a blast.
So did I. This was fun and truly organic. You know what I'm saying? This was great.
I felt like we had a conversation, but it was a show. It was fun. Yeah, it was like we were at a bar.
Exactly. You got a beer in your hand, so hey. So what do you got coming up next?
My channel?
Yeah.
Well, actually, tomorrow I'm gonna be doing it's gonna be on another guy's channel, Jet Central. I love the guy. I've actually been watching his channel for a couple of months. We're gonna be doing a joint Jet Giant thing on his channel.
Cool.
So people could check that out. Please subscribe to him as well as myself. And on my channel this week, I'm gonna be doing my daily Knicks video. I think I'm gonna be doing a top 10 Knicks post-Ewing era video. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Cool.
And I'm sure I'll be throwing in another football video this week as well as the football season approaches. I'm actually going to training camp on Tuesday.
Nice. Yeah. I'm hoping to get to. I don't think I'm going to. I was looking at the schedule. I don't think I'm going to get to one, but I really want to get to one this year. You better hope that Jet Central still lets you on because we blasted the Jets on the show. So,
speaking of training camp, I think at some point this year we're going to have to go to a Giant game.
Yeah, we got to. We got to go and tailgate a Giant game and get everybody come along with us. As far as me, this week, of course.
I'm so rude. What do you got going on with your stuff? What do you got?
Well, nothing but Knicks. We got, we got a show Sunday night. I'll be announcing the winner of the Kevin Knox rookie card for my last live stream. Anyone who subscribed, and they can still subscribe right now. Anyone who subscribed to the channel, or anyone who left a comment, shared it, retweeted it, posted it on Instagram, whatever they did, was entered into a contest to win the Kevin Knox rookie card. So I'm gonna announce that Sunday night, 10:30.
I'm just gonna say I hope I'm in the contest, Sim, because I retweeted a couple of your tweets.
Oh, you're in it. You're in it. Trust me. I don't know if you're gonna win, but you're in it. You're in it. I'm also working on a new series on NBK called A Knick Fan's Memoir. It's going to be one of my most personal and vulnerable shows, but it's going to be well worth it. And I'm hoping that some other Knick fans who have some stories about the New York Knicks, and how maybe it was, part of their life, will share it, and use the hashtag A Knick Fan's Memoir, So that should be fun.
That sounds great. I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm working on it as we speak. Hopefully within the next week and a half, it'll be out. Yeah.
Get your popcorn ready.
Get it ready. Hey, man, you really shouldn't use that, because didn't T.O. use that when he was with? Did he use that when he was with the Eagles?
Oh, he used it when he was with the Cowboys. You're right.
Just as bad. Just as bad. Yeah, but it's cool, man. Hey, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. Everyone, this is on NBK, but we have a new channel that's coming out. Nothing But New York Sports. Subscribe, because you're going to love it. Have a good one. Peace.